Hi everyone, today we're talking about Alibaba stock, and they actually reported earnings out today, and the earnings were really good. The stock only really went up about 3% after these earnings, but the earnings were really fantastic, and we're going to have a look at these earnings. And we had JD.com that reported earlier, which I'm going to make a video about and upload that in probably across the weekend. But Alibaba reported today, so I thought I'd go over the newest one, and their earnings were fantastic, and I currently hold shares in Alibaba. And I know quite a few of my viewers, quite a few of my subscribers hold shares in Alibaba as well. And it's one of the companies that I think is massively undervalued on the stock market right now. And these earnings kind of help with that case that was so fantastic. And we're going to have a look at this earnings. I'll talk about the earnings, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do with my Alibaba stock going forward after these earnings. We see that Alibaba reported revenue of an increase of 42% year over year, which was a bit slower than last year, which was 61% year-on-year revenue, which we knew was going to happen, and we knew that was always the case. And let's not forget, they actually, and this is going to slow down, and we look at the Chinese economy, and the Chinese economy is slowing down, and we know that there's a China trade war going on. But let's not forget, this company beat earnings, and it just reported a 42% year-over-year revenue. How fantastic is it for a company to do that right now with everything that's going on? It's kind of like, Alibaba kind of didn't care about what's happening in the world. To put these numbers were fantastic. So that was really good revenue from Alibaba. So most of the revenue came from the e-commerce site, which obviously is kind of a bit different from JD.com. Alibaba kind of uses more, it's a site for more wholesalers and individual sellers to actually sell on their website. It's a bit more like eBay than Amazon, but people always call Alibaba the Amazon of China. But it's a bit more, really, it's a bit more like eBay, but it's so diversified, and I think that's kind of the reason why it is kind of called Amazon of China, because it is in so many sectors. And when we look at the commerce side, that rose 44% year over year. Which was really interesting as well is that the food delivery business saw 137% revenue growth year over year. And when we look at the actual cloud side of Alibaba, grew 66% year over year, which is really fantastic from Alibaba. So like I said earlier, guys, these numbers are really fantastic from Alibaba to bring out, and kind of like every sector kind of did fantastic overall, which was amazing from Alibaba. And like I say, for me, Alibaba, we look at it now, it's a company that's now trading towards a 30 something P ratio. It's now down at a forward P of 20. And when we compare like Alibaba to the likes of Amazon, and they are two very diversified companies, very strong in their individual countries. Alibaba isn't as strong in the US, and Amazon really doesn't exist in China. But when we compare them and the revenue growth, like the revenue growth in Alibaba is actually better than Amazon. And we look at the companies and we look at the PEs, and Alibaba is just looking so cheap right now. And like I say, with everything that's going on in the world, for Alibaba to post these numbers is fantastic. And even when we look at quite a few of the analysts have kind of come out and cut their forecast for where they think the company is going to go. But even though they're cutting forecasts, they're still putting in price targets of $210, $220, which is still a pretty good upside. I think it's something around the 34% upside from where it is right now. And when we look at the stock chart as well, it's down towards the $166 range again now, which is crazy that it's down at these prices again. And like I said before, for me, Alibaba is the number one China play because of how diversified it is, how much it's growing. And as well is when we look at the discount as well and how far we think it's going to go forward, I think it's got so much upside from here. I've talked on this channel previously about Alibaba stock, and I'm a shareholder in Alibaba. And for me, I believe that Alibaba should be a $250 stock right now. And that's where it deserves to be, in my opinion. And going forward to next year, I think next year could be talking about a $280, a $300 stock Alibaba should be. So when we look at the prices that it should be at and where it is now, in my opinion, I'm just seeing so much upside from here. And it's one of those where I'm now looking at the company after these earnings that it's kind of gone, the China trade war isn't really affecting us that much. And it shouldn't be really, because a lot of the revenue does come from inside China. And it has said that it is really gaining on areas, the less developed areas, and that's where a lot of its revenue increase is coming from. And the China trade war shouldn't really affect companies like JD and Alibaba, because like I said, a lot of their revenue doesn't come out from China. It all comes in from China, and with the middle class still growing, you know, it's still going to still increase them orders and increase them revenue from here. So even with everything going on, it's still a pretty safe company really, because it shouldn't see too much revenue affected. And like I say, for me, it's such a massively undervalued company right now. And probably, in my opinion, after seeing what's happened with these earnings and what's happening right now, I'm kind of looking at Alibaba at $166 or whatever it is, and I'm going, you know, I actually fancy buying more shares at these prices because there's so much upside. Like I say, I think it should be a $250 stock. We're talking next year, I'm talking $280 to $300 stock. The year after that, we're talking 300 and something stock. And I'm just seeing so much upside from here, guys. So it's kind of really tempts me with how much it's pulled back in these earnings to go buy some more Alibaba stock. So don't be too surprised if I do go out and buy some. There's quite a few stocks I'm watching because of the pullback, but like I say, we'll see what happens. But if I do buy it, I'll let you know and I'll make a video about it and the prices I get in Alibaba stock. But I am watching it very closely. So guys, that's me talking about Alibaba earnings. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you could give it a like, that would be amazing. And if you're new to the channel, if you could subscribe, that would be cool as well. And I'll see you on the next video where I'm probably talking about JD.com earnings. So I'll see you then.